Nobody would, in their right mind, think Luka Doncic would be leaving Dallas, or Dallas will be wanting to get rid of Luka Doncic. That's why everybody is like, "What? For Anthony Davis?" But like I said, when you have time to sit back and you think about it, it makes a little sense. For number one, if you want to look at the Dallas Mavericks side of things, and we all know about Luka Doncic, top tier superstar. Lou Doncic. He's about that and more. But there's a few factors against it, right? Number one, no defense. Everybody knows about Luka Doncic's no defense. So that's one thing you look at. Number two, his conditioning. Bad conditioning coming in for several seasons now. The guy hasn't been in tip-top shape. You don't even know if he takes that part of his game seriously. Kind of reminds you of Charles Barkley a little bit when it comes to that. Him not being in shape, taking care of his body, leads him injured, hurt, not available, injury prone. No defense, injury prone, and the guy's not taking care of his body. So you wonder if he's taking this thing serious. So Dallas is looking at this thing as they have a hell of an investment. Are they willing to give him $350 million, signing him in for a mega deal for the rest pretty much of his career, at least in his prime? That'll be tough to swallow. They had a decision to make. They made a decision. Now, it was a tough decision to make because you see these two guys up on the screen. Boy, if it doesn't work out, there's going to be another U-Haul truck. Now, what comes to my surprise is LeBron James wasn't notified about it. Jason Kidd was out of the loop. Pretty sure Anthony Davis himself. Now, you know, you got Max Kleber, you got a few more guys in this trade, but let's be honest. The only players that we're worried about is Lou Doncic and Anthony Davis. So this thing could possibly work out in Dallas Mavericks' favor when you look at it. The three things that we just covered. Not only that, they get Anthony Davis. Now, he had his problems not being available. He's injury prone as well. He has an on and off switch. But when he's available and he's into it, yeah, he can give you some rebounds. He can clog that middle. He can give you points. You have a combo action working there. I mean, Dallas Mavericks must think the world of him. I mean, they let go of their franchise player. Now, what do I think about this trade? When you first looked at it, you're in shock. And you're wondering, what the hell is the Mavericks doing? That's the first thing you're thinking about. And like I said, when you have time to really process it, let the day go by a little bit. Everybody else has their say. You break this thing down and you look at it. And trust me, I'm a Luka Doncic fan. Big time. But I do know his weak points. And if you're going to invest in this guy long term, you have to know some things. Dallas didn't know those things. Is he going to be healthy throughout his career? I check that off and I say, no. He'll be in and out of the lineup for the rest of his career. How many games? Don't know. But he will miss time. Majority of players in this league miss time. But you do have players that are more prone to injury, that miss a handful of games, where 30 games, 40 games, 50 games a season. He's possibly one of those players. Then you add no defense. Then you add not taking care of your body, not coming in the season ready to go. So they wonder, are you bought in? I mean, we're thinking long term here. We need you to take this serious. And I'm going to add one thing on Luka Doncic. He whines. He's a whiny baby as well. Arguing with the refs, arguing every call on the floor, which leads to him not getting back on defense. I've seen this guy argue with refs while it's still live action. The play has gone to the other end. He's arguing with the ref. He doesn't hustle back on defense. He has the Olay defense where you can blow right by him. He might just give you an arm swipe. So when you look at all these things, you can see where Dallas was coming from. And they hit it well because nobody knew. They blindsided everybody. Breaking news, Blockbuster trade. 2 Hall of Fame players traded in a swap for one another. Making history. Making history. And if you're looking at the Lakers, you had to shake some things up. You're getting ready to move past LeBron James. AD, he's been injured as well, in and out. Remember that motor? It goes on and off. Lakers know that. He's been pouting as well. I think he actually wanted out. Now, to the Dallas Mavericks, we don't know that. But we knew AD didn't mind leaving. Getting from under that shadow of LeBron James. So I'm thinking AD is probably the happiest one out of everybody in this deal. He probably wouldn't tell you that. But LeBron James, he no longer have the keys, obviously. You don't even talk to him about this deal, how he feels about it. Should it be done? Luka Doncic has the keys now. And the way it's looking, LeBron James wants out. And everybody already know where that can lead to. Him going to the Golden State Warriors. That's probably the number one destination that he would be willing to go. And I believe for some reason that can happen. So this deal, I think it favors the Dallas Mavericks more than it does the Lakers. My opinion. Luka Doncic is a hell of a player. LeBron James is more on the downside. Played a good game last night, no doubt about that. But he's still declining. And the only reason why he has a little more juice than usual at this stage is he's been out a lot. He's been resting. He's been missing games. So he has a little more energy at the middle of the season at this point. They still have a lot of pieces they have to put together around Luka Doncic and the rest of the guys that they have on that roster. Can't be finished. With the Dallas Mavericks, a lot of young talent. They have some pieces. And Kyrie Irving is the main piece that's keeping this thing together. If it was no Kyrie Irving, this trade wouldn't make too much sense. Yeah, you could have went younger and said, hey, young guys have at it at the point guard spot. But you still would have had to wait a few years before you actually make a push. But with Kyrie Irving still on his team, the young players, Christie, you still got Lively, the bigs. A lot of guys that can do a whole bunch of things. They're deep. And you just add an AD in the middle. He should be motivated. He just got traded. Just like Luka Doncic going to the Lakers. Missed out on a lot of money. So you know this guy is fired up right now. And he wants to prove something. Both of these guys want to prove something. It's going to be interesting. And who's going to win the deal? Depends on the championship. Who's going to outlast who? That's what it comes down to. But this guy right here, oh, Nicky, oh, man, he better hope this works out. And the co-signer right next to him, Jason Kidd. Jason Kidd. So we are going to listen to them, see what they got to say. You can't patch up too much. As you can see, they're not going to be taking too long anyway. They just want to get this thing out. They felt the pressure. This is a blockbuster deal here. Groundbreaking. You have to say something. So you can imagine the pressure, them going on this press conference, trying to explain how do you get rid of a mega superstar and bring in AD, and they have to sell it on defense. Only way you can do it, you have to sell it on defense. Now, will it work out? We're going to find out as the season moves along. But if it don't, he going to have his hide broke down to the fat meat. You hear me? This doesn't work out? Oh, yeah, this man here is going to be done. And J Kidd going to be right along with him. J Kidd co-signed on it, but the owner was the ultimate co-sign. Believed in these two guys and said, you know what? Do what you got to do to win. You think it's going to work out? Go right ahead. They have 2 seasons. 2 years. I'm not counting this season. 2 years after this. If they do not get back to a finals, conference finals, whatever you want to call it, hate to be in those rooms. Hate to be in those rooms.